What kind of growth have you had since you became a one-on-one coaching client?
Well, I think I've gone when I first started back, not even a year ago, when we really started getting down in the dirt with this. I had about six consistent customers, and now I'm about shy of 60 customers, and that's been pulling in, going from 1250 a month all the way up to 12,500 a month, just in just regular service calls. So it's been overloading my plate, to say the least.
You've seen it. People with less talent but more grit. People with more pressure, but more optimism. People who walk into the room and raise the energy. Not because everything in their life is perfect, but because they've trained themselves to show up that way. That's not luck. That's work. That's practice. That's mindset. And this is what separates the people who grow from the people who stall. Not intelligence, not opportunity, not connections. It's attitude. Because attitude drives behavior. Behavior drives decisions. And decisions shape everything else. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need a motivational speech every morning. You need a mindset that's wired to win. One that's built for challenges, trained for pressure, and grounded in discipline. Most people don't think of attitude as a habit, but it is. It's a collection of beliefs, tones, self-talk, posture, assumptions, and emotional reflexes that get rehearsed every single day. And whatever you rehearse most becomes your default. So if you wake up thinking small, rehearsing doubt, repeating failure, you don't just have a bad day, you build a bad pattern. And that pattern becomes the story you live inside. But if you shift that pattern, everything changes. When you choose to build a mindset that expects growth, that looks for opportunity, that takes responsibility, that leads with enthusiasm, even when life doesn't hand you reasons to smile, you become dangerous. You become resilient. You become magnetic. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. You don't wait for a good mood. You create one. You don't wait for life to treat you better. You treat life differently. This doesn't mean ignoring pain. It doesn't mean pretending everything's fine. A winning attitude isn't fake positivity. It's real perspective. It's strength under control. It's choosing to face the facts without surrendering to them. It's leading with energy that lifts instead of energy that drains. And it's remembering that your attitude affects everyone around you. Your family, your team, your clients, your friends. Your presence changes rooms one way or another. The question is, what kind of energy are you bringing with you? You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to feel amazing every day. But you do need to decide what kind of person you want to be when life gets tough. What kind of mindset you want to carry when things don't go your way. What kind of voice you want to speak with when fear starts whispering again. That decision, that posture, is the foundation of a winning attitude. And when you build that attitude on purpose, not just in theory, but in daily practice, you stop being controlled by your environment. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop waiting and start leading. Because now you're not hoping for a better day. You're showing up as the person who creates one. The first method to cultivate a winning attitude is to master your self-talk. Because the words you speak to yourself are not just sounds in your head. They are instructions. They shape how you feel, how you act, and what you believe you're capable of. And most people have no idea how negative their internal language has become. They think they're being realistic. They think they're protecting themselves from disappointment. But really, they're rehearsing failure before life even has a chance to challenge them. The most powerful person in your life is you. And the most influential voice in your life is yours. So when you speak to yourself with doubt, with shame, with pessimism, with sarcasm, your brain listens. It takes it as truth. It starts to build identity around it. You think you're being careful, but really you're becoming limited. Because your words are painting a picture your future self has to walk into. That's why you have to audit your language, the tone, the phrasing, the assumptions. If someone else talked to you the way you talk to yourself in your low moments, would you want them in your life? If the answer is no, then why are you letting that voice be the one that leads?
Well, Thrive Nation, on today's show, we have a wonderful success story. This particular listener actually has been to a workshop, and they heard how to grow their business. They became a one-on-one consulting client, and now their business is absolutely growing, not because they heard what to do, but because they're implementing the proven systems and processes in their actual business. And now, without any further ado, Russell Weimer, welcome onto the Thrivetime Show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing excellent. How are you doing, Clay?
Well, I'm fired up to have you here. Now, for a lot of people that are wondering, is this man a hologram or is he a real person? Tell us, what's your website and what's the name of your company, sir?
The website's weimerworks.com, and the name of the company is simply Weimerworks Pool Service and Repair.
Now, since you became a one-on-one coaching client, I mean, we do charge clients a flat rate of $1,700 a month, and we do the photography and the videography and the web and the search engine and the branding and help you with the accounting and the numbers and the tracking sheets and the online ads. And what kind of growth have you had since you became a one-on-one coaching client?
Well, I think when I first started back, not even a year ago, when we really started getting down in the dirt with this, I had about 6 consistent customers, and now I'm about shy of 60 customers, and that's been pulling in, going from $1,250 a month all the way up to $12,500 a month, just in regular service calls. So it's been overloading my plate, to say the least.
Now, one thing we do is we're fastidious about making sure that you're tracking the numbers. And so I view business as, half of business is offense. It's marketing, it's branding, it's advertising, it's the vision. Then the other half is accounting and legal and systems and that kind of thing. Right now, how would you describe how the experience has been for you thus far? Because I know at first we put a lot of emphasis on, let's get the website up, let's get the online ads going. Kind of describe what the experience has been like so far.
So far, I would say when I decided to jump out on my own and do my own thing, never ran a business in my life. I have a family, so I was very kind of, I guess you would say, apprehensive to do it on my own. And I know I needed some guidance to really give me some concrete, actionable actions I can take and go do, and then I know it's going to work. And that's whenever I signed up with you guys, it was been kind of a very inspirational, but very confident that I know I'm doing the right thing, because anytime I've ever questioned something, it's always gone back to the core plan, what we're sticking to, getting the reviews, getting the content on the website, and just sticking to it, and the leads come in. And now I'm to the point where I'm making more money than I've ever made. And it's just it won't stop, and I can't stop. And I'm in a completely different area than I was 9 months ago when I first started doing business with you guys. And it's awesome. I can't say the least that it's just been it's very, not wild, but very exciting, very rewarding ride so far. And I don't see an end to it. And that's the thing that gets me kind of, when I was at one of your workshops recently, it's that feeling of being overwhelmed is the feeling that I got to keep, because that's the motivation. That's the growth of the company happening. And it just doesn't stop.
I started my first business out of my dorm room. And, I had this vision to grow America's largest wedding entertainment company. I ultimately did that, a company called DJconnection.com. And I grew that company huge before I sold it years ago. And it helped me having certain mentors in my life. So for right now, I pay an accountant every month about $3,000 a month, every single month, to make sure that my numbers aren't drifting. I pay an attorney several $1,000s a month, every single month. And I've worked with these same people for years and years. And most of our consulting clients are with us for 6 years or longer. Could you maybe describe for anybody out there that's thinking about becoming a client, what that's like to have a team helping you? Because I know every month I don't have to look for a new accountant. I'm not looking for a new attorney. And I have these people that are advising me down the path that I've chosen to go down. Could you maybe describe for anybody out there that's thinking about becoming a client, what it's like knowing that you have an entire team helping you?
It's extremely stress relieving. Knowing me, myself, not knowing anything really how to make a website, how to even do the nuanced things of the updated software and things just to make it cell phone compatible and rank higher on the search engines. Having a team behind me and me just be able to have questions answered and knowing that, hey, if I need something taken care of on the website, it's going to get taken care of, and I don't have to think about those things and worry about things or waste my time really with things that I don't have time to think about. I can just spend my time working on and in my business, knowing that I've got a confident team behind me that's going to be able to give me the best looking website that I can ask for right now, because I think I don't even know how to make it look better because I've never made one before. But I'm sure if I need anything critiquing on it, having a team there that, hey, I want this picture there, or hey, I want to add some content like this, y'all can change it, and I don't have to think about those things, and it just takes the stress level away from me. And then not only that, having a mentor to keep me when I question myself, to have you there to just stay on course, keep at it, keep getting the reviews, has really bolstered me and strengthened me to keep on course. And just it's very, it's just stress relieving is the best way I can put it. Is I just almost don't have to worry or think about those things that can be overwhelming when you're first getting into this.
One of the things in the Bible that the Bible tells us 365 times about not giving in to the spirit of fear. In the book of Revelation, God continues to say, let them that have ears to hear. And then it's very repetitive. The Bible and God are very repetitive. And I find that success is very repetitive. You have to do the same things that work. And a lot of self-help books, they say insanity is doing the same thing over and over. I think though that success, and I know that success requires the implementation of proven processes over and over and over, doing the same thing that works over and over. Quick Trip gas stations provide great service week after week, day after day. Starbucks, as much as I don't agree with the culture, Starbucks provides great coffee every single day. Can you maybe explain that nature of having somebody that's pushing you to do some of those maybe stupid repetitive tasks over and over? Because I know that the addiction to new ideas is a kind of it is a problem that I see a lot of entrepreneurs have. They jump from one idea to the next idea to the next idea, never gaining traction. What's it like having somebody in your life pushing you to do those repetitive tasks over and over?
It's very basically it's kind of bolstering your confidence a little bit, and that you don't have, like you said, you don't have to have this new idea. And I can give the perfect example of, I asked you, I was like, hey, I didn't consult you about it. I just went and signed up for it, and it was the Yelp. And you gave me the spiel about Yelp, and I was like, I think I'm gonna give it a try. And sure enough, I do it. I end up spending about $500. I got 0 leads off of it, and it was a lot of wasted time and money. And I ended up kind of eating, some humble pie, coming back to you and telling you, yeah, I got off of that, and should have just listened to you. And having you there kind of told me, I was like, hey, I don't need to go off and try to new market ideas, because I'm paying a coach, I'm paying Thrive to do those things for me. I don't need to second guess their course. In the second I did second guess it, it came back on me tenfold to where I lose out. And it was a waste of time. So having the coach there to kind of, reassert himself that this is why it works and you need to keep at it. And I remember there was even another example I could give you. Is I was looking down the line of doom and gloom, something about the future and money and economy, and you didn't sit there and feed into it. You just said, I can tell you one thing is we got to just keep at it. You've got work to do. We've got to keep getting the reviews, and this is how it's going to work. And then unless you don't, I'd tell you the last time I thought about pending doom was then, because I kept thinking about what needed to be done. And that was getting the reviews, getting the content, and simply getting my business to grow. And I tell you, I haven't thought about it since then. And it's just, you got to keep rolling and keep moving.
Now, final two questions I have for you. You provide a pool cleaning service, pool maintenance service. Tell us, what market area do you service for any of our listeners out there that may want to look into doing business with you?
Yeah, we service a pretty wide range. We're going to be pretty much everything west of Dallas. So all the way from Trophy Club, Keller, Fort Worth, all the way down to Arlington, Burleson, and all the way out to Weatherford. So pretty much everything east of Dallas, we're going to have you covered and get you taken care of.
Now, what would you say for anybody out there that's on the fence? They're thinking about going to thrivetimeshow.com and scheduling a free consultation or attending one of our in-person workshops. What would you say to them?
I would say don't hesitate. Do it. It really will. It is going to change your life and for the better. It's not for the faint of heart. It is hard work, but you know you're going in the right direction. And you know you have a whole group of people behind you to keep you going in that direction. And I wouldn't hesitate, because if the second you sign on, you're going to experience a whole nother level of life you haven't yet.
Now, how did you originally hear about the Thrivetime show and the one-on-one business coaching and the conferences that we provide?
Yeah, it actually goes back to about a year, almost 2 years ago now, that when I heard you filling in on it was the War Room with Owen Schwarrier, and you were filling in, and I was just getting fired up off of your energy. I was like, I got to look into this guy. At first, I thought you were a preacher, honest to God. And I looked up and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is a godsend, because he's right up my alley, because you're all about entrepreneurship. And that was where I was going. That was a direction. And lo and behold, you're kind of right up the alley in a lot of the ways I think and other things. So it just kind of worked out to where I had to get up there and experience it myself.
Now, you actually, I think filled out a form. What was your first action step that you took before you attended the conference and ultimately became a client?
Yeah, well, listening to one of your podcasts, you said, hey, if you want to give this a try, you encouraged to come up and check out the workshop. So I went on your website, filled out the little form, and I think within less than 5 minutes, I had a phone call with a very nice young lady, and she gave me the full download. And before I could even get off, she discounted the amount I had to pay for some reason. I don't know why, but she made it to where I couldn't say no. It just made it too easy to get up there and come experience the workshop.
Now, how would you describe the in-person workshop for anybody out there that hasn't been to a workshop before?
It's very, if you're not if you're coy, I just should say, it's going to be kind of in your face, but it's very, very motivating is the best word I could give it. It's just very motivating, and it kind of pulls you out of your little shell and kind of gets you to open up a little bit. And that's the best way I can describe it, is very motivating.
Now, what would you say to anybody out there who's thinking about spending $500 on a Yelp ad this month?
Don't do it.
Oh,
Don't wait. You're going to waste your time, money, and you're going to pretend. They'll give you pretend click leads, but it's all fake at the end of the day.
I'll give folks, check out weimerworks.com. That's weimerworks.com, an incredible service. I'll put a link on today's show notes, folks, so you can check it out. That's weimerworks.com. Russell Weimer, it's great to serve you. Great to work with you, sir. And we'll talk to you next week.
Excellent. Thank you, Clay. You have a good one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, on today's show, we're interviewing an entrepreneur who is kind, who is diligent, who is the kind of person you'd want to hang out with. And I think if you're out there today, we need to understand that money is just a magnifier. Money just makes you more of who you are. And I hear nothing but great things about today's guest and longtime client, Myron. Welcome on to the Thrivetime Show. How are you, sir?
Hey, thanks. I'm doing good.
Hey, so real quick, let's get into your background a little bit here. How did you first hear about us? How long ago was that when we first started coaching or working with you?
So that was, man, it had been about six and a half years ago. Steve Currington, one of you guys' longtime clients as well, he actually recommended me to you guys about 6 years ago. And I went to one of your conferences, and I was blown away by what I seen at the conference, and I had to join.
Now, someone wants to verify you're a real person, and also it might turn into a couple of deals for you. What's your website so people can pull this up and verify you're not a hologram?
Yeah, check us out. whitegloveautotulsa.com.
whitegloveautotulsa.com. So let me pull it up here. whitegloveautotulsa.com. And with White Glove Auto, what are all the services that you guys provide at this point?
So the services that we provide right now are like services like paint protection film for your vehicle to protect its paint, ceramic coating for your paint. It's another form of paint protection. We do window tinting, and then we do vinyl wraps.
So you guys at White Glove Auto, I mean, you guys do quite a few services. Also, these mics I have right here, you guys auto wrap these microphones. Is that accurate, sir?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we printed out that wrap ourselves and we wrap those.
That's awesome. So that's, again, folks, that's White Glove Auto. Now, as far as growth, since we've had the opportunity to serve you, what kind of growth have you seen over these past 6.5 years?
So man, that's the crazy thing. So our growth has been absolutely insane. I averaged it up over the last 8 years I've been in business. We've averaged about a 52% growth year over year, and that is just insane.
So you've grown. If you had to go back 6.5 years from when we started with you to now, do you know what that total growth percentage would be? Are you like 5 times larger or 10 times larger?
Oh man, I mean,
50% of a big number is,
I mean, when I first started with you guys, I think I had just done $100,000 for the whole year. This year, I'm probably gonna do 2.1 million.
Wow! So you guys are up 20 times.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for anybody out there that hasn't worked with a business consultant, I always tell people what we do is very analogous to what a personal trainer does for fitness. And I would also say that what you guys do at White Glove Auto is very similar to what a personal trainer does, but you do it for automobiles. So if you're out there today and you want to auto wrap a vehicle, I guess you could get a manual about it. And I guess you could get all the equipment. And I guess that you could devote usually years to learn the craft and master it and then invest in the physical building to auto wrap your own vehicles. Or you could go to an expert. Can you kind of explain what it's like working with a business coaching program on a week in, week out basis?
Yeah, so like working with the business coaching program is phenomenal. It's something that I'm very glad that I've done. Every week, meeting with you guys, for instance, is just nice to know updates on my SEO and how things are going. And anytime I have questions about things I might be stuck on, and being able to have those questions answered has just been great.
And when the meetings, I think one of the things that I think is very important, whether you have a business or you have a business coach, you need to have certain core, repeatable, actionable processes that you go every week so you don't drift. There's certain core, repeatable, actionable processes. Could you talk about maybe how those meetings have helped you to make sure that, that you're not drifting and that your organization is continuing to knock out those core, repeatable, actionable processes?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one of the biggest things I learned from you guys' meetings is, doing checklists and processes and just making sure I'm doing the same thing every day. And when I go to my meetings, my coach is always following up with me, making sure I'm doing my action items. And if I'm not, he kind of gets a little upset with me. So it keeps me on track. But yeah, learning those processes has definitely been a huge help for us as well.
Can you maybe peel back the onion and maybe share a couple core, repeatable, actionable processes that you have to do every week that might seem kind of mind numbing, but that actually produce results?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is something I do every week. I do actually every day, and that's finances, going over my numbers and seeing my exact expenses and how much money is coming in, how much money is going out. And I do that every single day for about an hour, hour and a half a day. And it's mind numbing, but it's something I got to do. And that's something I learned in Thrive as well, is making sure you're on top of your numbers.
And my understanding is you now are the owner of a Lamborghini. Is this an accurate thing? Did you just buy a Lamborghini?
Yeah. And I did just buy a Lamborghini. It delivers today.
And what does it look like, or what kind, for people out there that don't know what it is? Can you maybe describe it or tell me what kind of Lamborghini is it?
Yeah, it's a 2020 Lamborghini Huracan Evo. It's actually like a purple color. So Viola Pacife is what the color is called. Yep, Huracan Evo.
Got it. And I am not a car guy, so I'm going to just hack away here and see if I can find it. So this is kind of what it looks like, but yours is purple.
Yep, exactly. It's purple. So it's not a convertible either. It's actually the coupe, but that is pretty much what it looks like.
And has this been on your wish list for a long time, or?
It has been. Yeah, it's been on a wish list for a very long time. I can't believe I've actually been able to buy a $300,000 car, but here I am.
Now, let's talk about this for people out there that are thinking about coming to a workshop. I always tell people it's $250 to come to a workshop, or whatever price they want to pay. What can people expect if they come to a workshop?
Man, when you come to a workshop, I mean, even though it's, $250 or, whatever you spend, you're going to get a ton of value out of that. Whenever I go to a workshop that you guys have, I always learn something new every time I go. There's a bunch of information, a bunch of questions that get answered that maybe I didn't know I had. So anyway, it's very, very helpful.
And we'll talk about website edits and graphic design and branding and print pieces. I think a lot of business owners, they have a consultant they hire, and then the consultant they hire tells them, well, you need to go optimize your website, or you need to go launch ads, or you need to go look at your numbers. But they don't actually sit down and help them with their numbers or help them with their website or help them. How has that helped to having a turnkey one point of contact where every week when you meet with our coaching team, after that meeting, you've got a team that's doing the photography, the videography, the web development, the search engine, and kind of helping you with those things behind the scenes?
Oh, it's a huge help. So, I mean, if you guys were just telling me, hey, do this, do that, and not giving me any type of actual coaching on how to do those processes, probably wouldn't do it because it'd be a little too difficult. Maybe it's a little overwhelming. So it's definitely nice to have a lot of help on the back end from you guys.
Now, let's talk about this idea. In business, there's always a new idea. People like to bring up new ideas and obsess on new ideas and not execute the proven ideas. Can you maybe talk about that? Because I see a lot of wonderful entrepreneurs that reach out to us. They schedule 13-point assessment, and I find out that for 10 consecutive years, they've been hopping to the idea of the month, the idea of the week, the idea of the hour, and they're always hopping from idea to idea, but they don't actually get anything done. Can you maybe talk about how coaching kind of helps you stay on track with what works?
Yeah, I think really the biggest thing is just having that coach there that's behind you. And every week, like I said, whenever you're meeting with that coach, they're just making sure that you're staying on track. Again, having somebody who's there and knowing that they could get upset with you because you're not staying on track and doing your action items is a huge help. If I didn't have that person behind me kind of helping push me, I don't think some of the stuff would be getting done.
Now, we charge $1,700 a month as of the time of the recording of today's show. $1,700 a month. We operate at a 20% margin for what we do. And we're very clear about that. It's $1,700 a month. It's month to month, and it's 20% margin. With your business model, you guys do auto wraps. And if somebody out there is looking to auto wrap, let's say a truck or a car or a vehicle, what kind of has Andrew been able to help you be intentional about making sure that you're not doing auto wraps where you lose money? Because I know a lot of people in your industry that I've met at conferences that do beautiful wraps, but they found a way to lose money on every transaction. Has Andrew kind of helped on that aspect to make sure that you're profitable?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing is, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of other people that do wraps, like you said, that are just afraid to charge what they want to charge. And one of the things that's helped me, like from Andrew, is just helping me not be afraid to charge what I need to in order to be a profitable business. And I actually get a lot of hate, a lot of shade thrown my way for charging higher prices, but it's what I got to do to run a profitable shop.
Now, this is probably an awkward time to place that order, so I'll put it on the agenda that we share. I need to get 6 more SM58 mics. The ones with the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Where it's the red, white, and blue SM58 Shure mic that we have, and it's just the 3 colors. I think the mic itself is blue, and then I think the handle is maybe red or something like that.
Yeah.
I sincerely, I wanted to order. I need to get 6 more of those from you. So for me and for anybody out there that wants to order stuff like that from you, what's the best way to do that?
So if anybody wants to do any type of ordering like that, they can just give us a call at our office number, which is 918-806-2780. And we're happy to help you. Of course, our biggest thing is automotive. We can do automotive anytime, but we like doing little things like the mics or, going out to actual properties and doing some jobs out on site. We like doing a little bit of everything. So you have to give us a call.
I'm going to pull this up so people can see what I'm talking about here. So this is the mic here. That's an SM58 mic. It's the mic made by the Shure company. And this is the mic here. It's blue on top. It's got the white, then the red handle there. That's the SM58 mic. And you guys auto wrap those. So I'm going to put that on your agenda with Andrew so you guys can talk about it. But you guys do auto wraps. You guys do mic wraps. Anything else that you wrap that's a common request right now that people are asking you about there, sir?
A common thing here recently has been refrigerators. People want to have their little man caves and, put their cars in their garage, and they want to have their refrigerator wrapped with like car logos or whatever it is. So refrigerators, yeah, it's kind of a weird
refrigerator wrapping. That's awesome. And again, final question I have here for you. What would you say for anybody out there thinking about scheduling a free one-on-one consultation by going to thrivetimeshow.com? Maybe they're on the fence. We had a guy I talked to last week who'd been a listener for 7 consecutive years. And he said, I don't know what the deal was. I think I had a phobia of reaching out to you guys. And but he reached out to us, and in 9 months, his company's grown 57%. So in 9 months, he's grown his company by 57%. And on part 2 of today's show, I'm going to introduce our listeners to this man because he's doing really well. What would you say to anybody out there that's thinking about scheduling a consultation, but they have yet to do so?
Man, I say you're making a mistake if you're not reaching out ASAP. I mean, you're just holding yourself back. Working with Thrive is one of the best decisions I've ever made for my company. I've been with them for 6.5 years now, and it's something I really, really recommend everybody do.
Well, brother, I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy. Thanks for carving out time for us again, folks. That website is whitegloveautotulsa.com. You can auto wrap a refrigerator. You can auto wrap a mic. You can auto wrap a Lamborghini, which now Myron now owns. So if you want to buy a Lamborghini from Myron, maybe he'll sell you he just bought it, but maybe he'll sell you his new Lamborghini at a reasonable markup. We'll see, folks. So you can buy a Lamborghini from Myron. You can buy an auto wrapped refrigerator. You can buy an auto wrapped microphone. You can buy all of those wonderful things at whitegloveautotulsa.com. Myron, thank you for carving out time for us. I really do appreciate you.
No problem, man. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Well, Thrive Nation, on part 1 of today's show, we talked to a guy by the name of Myron Kirkpatrick. Now, Myron Kirkpatrick, as you just heard, is a guy that just bought his first Lamborghini. And you might say, well, that's awesome for him. Well, the thing about Myron is Myron heard that his buddy, Steve Currington, just bought a Lamborghini. And so he had that curiosity, and he said, well, you're a mortgage guy. How is it possible that you just bought a Lamborghini? Man, you must be doing a lot of mortgages. And Steve said, I am doing a lot of mortgages. In fact, a lot of them, a ton of mortgages. In fact, if you go to stevecurrington.com, I'm the mortgage guy. And Myron says, well, how are you doing a lot of mortgages? And he says, well, I've got a proven system. And see, I've been working with this guy, Clay Clark. And he says, you've been working with Clay Clark? And so next thing you know, Myron, as you just heard, folks, he became a client 6.5 years ago, and he just is having his Lamborghini delivered today, his brand new Lamborghini. His business has grown by 20 times. And all it was a quick conversation that caused a complete change in his destination. So what am I saying? Today's guest has been a longtime client, and I believe that he has a solution for you that may just change your life. This is a man who has built a business and a system that has grown and scaled. He's been a longtime client. We have a lot of confidence in what he does. I have confidence in him as a person. I endorse him as a person. I endorse his company. I endorse what he stands for. He's the founder of a company called Window Ninjas. And over the past 3 years, we've had the honor to work with him. His company has continued to grow. And now he's to a place and space where he's offering franchising, which means he's going to allow you to use his super proven recipe, if you want to, for a fee. So nothing further ado, Gabe Salinas from Window Ninjas. Welcome to the Thrivetime Show. How are you, sir?
I am wonderful, Clay. Glad to be here.
I got to ask you, when was that moment in your life when you thought, you know what? I think I'm going to open up my own business. Do you remember where you were or when you had that thought of, you know what, things are going well, or maybe things aren't going well, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make the first step, maybe make the first call, maybe start my own company. Or when did that aha moment happen for you?
Early on in my life, Clay, I've always been an entrepreneur, and I've always been interested in business. So as a youngster growing up, I was always hustling. I was always going out and knocking on doors so I could cut somebody's grass and earn some money, and doing all those little things, washing cars, as you do as a kid. But I was always interested in entrepreneurship, being my own boss, opening my own business. And man, early on in my life, I just kind of continued to have that mentality. And I knew probably right around the age of 19, 20 that I was going to do my own thing. Is really when I was committed fully to really focus on my business.
So when did you start WindowNinjas.com? When was that moment where you started WindowNinjas.com?
We started Window Ninjas almost 3.5 years ago, going on our 4th year. Actually, 2, 3. What year is this? Yeah. And so at any rate, I had actually opened up a franchise early on in my youth, and had ran with that for quite a number of years. And it allowed me to be able to see what a poorly run franchise system was like. And over a 10-year span of dealing with that specific franchise system, I gained a lot of knowledge, good things to do, bad things, not to do. And it just kind of turned my mental state into, I was going to get out of this bad franchise system at some point and then turn myself into my own entity and then build a good franchise system. So I was kind of driven to things in a little bit different manner than most.
And you have how many locations now of windowninjas.com?
We currently operate in 12 different cities throughout 4 states.
And for just some context, so people out there know, with Myron, he was talking about, we've worked with Myron for almost 7 years at this point. When did you and I first connect? How long ago was that?
Right around 3.5 years ago, right when we opened up Window Ninjas, probably, I guess, well, no, forgive me, Clay, I'm getting old, but so if I go back in time, me and you've been together since right around 3.5 years, and then coming up on almost 4 now. Then I think about it, I think we started in August.
Yeah.
And then we've actually had Window Ninjas for 3 years prior, 2 to 3 years prior to that. So I actually, 5 to 6 years we've had Window Ninjas.
And you guys have grown over the past, on the tracking sheet over the past 3.5 years that we've been with you, I think you guys have doubled the business. And now you guys, is that accurate? You've doubled. Your business is rocking.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be somebody listening right now, and you're like, man, I kind of want to own my own business, and I don't know the first thing about owning one or where I would even start. Kind of guide people through, what does that first step look like if somebody wants to learn about opening a Window Ninjas franchise?
Well, the first step's pretty easy. If you just go to my website at windowninjas.com and click on the little franchise page link, it'll show you some information there. You can simply fill out a form at the request service page as well. But just send me an email, put your information in there. Let me know that you're interested in franchising out, and I will get that email, and then we will start the conversation. We'll make a phone call, set up an introductory meeting, and go over the things of what it takes to be a Window Ninjas franchise owner, and I'll get to know a little bit about them as well.
Now, this isn't a backhanded compliment. I'm just trying to give people some context. This is a client I've worked with for a long time, the Co-Laws. We've worked with them since 2017. We're now in 2013. Their business has grown quite a bit. And if you wanted to open up a Co-Law fitness location, what you'd have to do is, spend $1 million to open up a huge building and to buy all that equipment. And then you'd have to train all those people. And that's what it looks like to own a Co-Law Fitness. You have to get a big building, a lot of equipment, train a big staff, and that's what it looks like to open a Co-Law Fitness company. If you scroll up here, this is all from my newest book. You go to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire, and you can download this book. It's thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire. And this is a millionaire's guide, how to become sustainably rich. You can download it for free at thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire. Now you look at that and you go, wow, the Co-Laws are successful, but I don't have that first $1 million sitting around. Well, Napoleon Hill, the best-selling author, says here, drifting without aim or purpose is the first cause of failure. So if you know you're not going to have $1 million sitting around to buy your own fitness company, what I would recommend you do is get realistic and set some SMART goals and say, how can I go about opening my own business now? Like, what is the most realistic path for you? And I think for a lot of people, a great place to start is to open up a franchise, open up a proven system that's been shown to work time and time again. So how much money are we talking about? If someone wants to open, someone says, I don't have $1 million to open up a Co-Law, but I do want to open a business. How much does it cost to open up a Window Ninjas?
It's not as much as $1 million, Clay. We're a little bit more reasonable than that. I'm not saying that Co-Law is not reasonable.
Sure.
However, with us, you got a $50,000 franchise fee, and then you're purchasing your truck, your equipment packages, things of that nature. New vehicles today are running about $50K. So all in, to open up a window and pressure cleaning company with us here at Window Ninjas, you're looking right around the $150,000 mark, give or take about $25K on either side, depending on what type of package that the individual wants to purchase.
So this is a thing where, this is a business that it isn't $1 million to get started. Now, if somebody gets started with you guys, the first step is to schedule a consultation. And that consultation is just to find out if you're a good fit, to ask, any questions to see if it's a good timing, good fit. But I want to go over kind of the most commonly asked questions. So I've got 5 rapid fire questions for you. One, does anyone have to have any experience in the window cleaning business, or the window cleaning, the gutter cleaning, the pressure washing, the chimney sweeping, or the dryer vent cleaning business before they need to get started with you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Second is, does somebody have to already have a vehicle? Does somebody already have to have a warehouse? Does somebody have to have a big business acumen before they get started with you?
If they had a vehicle, we would prefer it to be a white truck, because that is what we utilize. GMC is the brand that we use as well. So if they had that, that would be a step in the right direction. And as far as business acumen, absolutely not. I mean, if they are, typically what we find, Clay, is that people that may not have had their own business are typically inclined to have their own business, are already in that business mindset. They want to work for themselves. They want more time freedom and financial freedom. And they know the best way to do it is to start a business or open up a business that has already been franchised out.
Now, one of the mind-numbing things involved in owning a company is that discovering that you always have to answer the phone. And Window Ninjas or an OxyFresh, these are 2 franchises that I'm involved with. I'm just trying to give people some context. I believe in this model. This is kind of how I try to do it. But if you buy a Tip Top Canine franchise, obviously you have to love dogs. If you open up an OxyFresh franchise, there's 507, I think, locations open as of right now. So you have to find a territory that's open. If you go to a Window Ninjas, it's a growing brand, and so there's much more availability. But with all 3 of the brands, the phone does not ring to the local owner. So when the phone rings, a scheduling center or a call center answers the phone. Kind of explain to our listeners how that works.
It's pretty simple, and it's a huge benefit for the companies like ours that actually have a call center that takes all of the phone calls and does all the scheduling. It's pretty much that we set up a local phone number for the specific location. That phone number rings into our call center, and one of the many 10 to 12 agents that we have will pick that phone call up and facilitate the needs of that specific client. And it's really huge, Clay. For example, I was talking to somebody yesterday in Utah, and they were asking me about my call center, and they were actually asking me about you as well. We had a good conversation about franchising. But they also were amazed that we had this call center. These are guys that do like auto detailing, boat detailing, and they even detail planes. And they got these mobile detailing service, and they actually have a shop too. And I told them about my call center, and they were like, "Wow, that's huge. We never thought of that." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "How would you like to be waxing the Lamborghini or putting a nice fresh coat of wax on the airplane, and then have to answer a phone call, and then you forget where you're at on the airplane, and then you're taking and facilitating the need of the client over here and trying to schedule it, and you're kind of multitasking." And it was kind of like a light bulb went off in their head, and they were like, "Wow, that's a huge benefit." I said, "Absolutely. It's a benefit to the client, and it's also a benefit to the franchisee. We take that step out of their hands, and it allows them to be able to do the great things with the individual customers that they're working with day to day."
And I think that is just absolutely a home run, and a lot of details to go behind your excellent call center. You guys have call recording in place. You have proven call scripts in place. You have ongoing call training and mentorship for your representatives who work for you. You have a turnkey hiring system, so you always have a great call center team that you're always coaching and mentoring up. There's so much value there. The next is the proven turnkey advertisement. I think a lot of people get stressed out about buying a business because they think, how would I possibly generate leads? And I know I have a kind of a confirmation bias because we've worked with you to help you build those systems. I know your systems work well, but maybe explain to people a little bit of the detail of the turnkey marketing system that you provide to franchisees.
Well, with your help, Clay, we've been able to really dive into the nitty gritty with our marketing plan. We always run AdWords. We manage those AdWord campaigns for each one of our locations. And then just to the production of content, whether it be content that we're putting on YouTube or blog articles that we're writing, or just other content articles that we're writing. We produce a lot of content every single day that is relevant to the industries that we service. And within that content, we are optimizing that content so that it ranks high on Google. And we typically become the first item when somebody's searching for one of our services. We're popping up there. Most of the time, you'll find that it's an article that we've written or a blog post that we've written about something that the consumer actually has questions about concerning our specific services that we offer.
Now, one more thing, and I'll kind of wrap it up with this. You guys really look at the numbers too. A lot of people worry about owning a business because they say, I don't know what I would do with my accounting. I don't know about the legal. I don't know about the numbers. There's kind of a phobia around the numbers and the finances of a company. And you guys have really thought through the numbers. And when someone schedules a consultation, you'll go over those numbers with people in your open book, and it really helps people to have that confidence. But can you maybe talk about the numbers and just knowing the margins and knowing the pricing and knowing what you're going to charge for things? Because I think that's a big benefit that you offer as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, you definitely got to charge the right amount in order to make the right amount, right? We've taken all of that and just dialed it down. We're looking at numbers on a day-to-day basis to make sure that we are charging the right amount, that we're making the right amount of profit that we intend to have. We're making sure that the numbers add up so that the employees get paid properly. If there's any deductions or maybe there's a coupon or a giveaway that a consumer is going to get, we got to make sure those numbers are right. But there's a lot of stuff that goes into looking at the numbers on a day-to-day basis, making sure that our vendors are getting paid and things of that nature. But we really dialed all of that in, and that's part of the benefit of being in our franchise system, is that we teach every one of our franchises the nuts and bolts of the accounting as well. So it's more than just cleaning a piece of glass or pressure washing a house, but it's actually running the business and having the business serve you.
So if I'm listening right now, I want to get a hold of you guys. Again, Gabe, a lot of our listeners are driving while they listen to the show. What's the first step people need to take today, sir?
First step would be visit our website. Go to windowninjas.com. That's ninjas with an S. And just browse our website. Go to the franchise link on there. Fill out that form. You can find a form on pretty much any of our pages. But, take that first step. Just send me an email. Give us a call, whichever one you want to do. We're always happy to facilitate the needs of somebody that's interested in working with our team over here at Window Ninjas.
Hey, brother, thank you so much for carving out time. And again, that's windowninjas.com. That's Gabe Salinas with windowninjas.com. Gabe, have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Clay. Have a great one. Keep shining.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah, so here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months, or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with. So.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists that when everything gets done and it gets done right, it creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut, and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Cockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours where he does these tours all across the country where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy, Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about it. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down, because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company, or navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. As you can see, it's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
Clay, my honor to be on your show, and thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you. So congratulations.
Sean, guess what's happening June 5th and 6th right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem?
We are probably going to have an amazing business conference here at Tulsa, Jerusalem.
Yes, we're joined by Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow is going to be joining us right here at the Thrivetime Show World Headquarters, June 5th and 6th. He's a very successful football player, obviously a Heisman Award winner, but he's also a very successful entrepreneur. Now, when you work with real clients, Sean, clients you really work with to help them grow their companies, do you ever hear a business owner tell you that they didn't have time to get something done?
Every day.
How often is not having enough time a problem for business owners?
All the time. It's like maybe 90% of the issues as people are trying to grow their company.
Well, Tim Tebow is going to come join us here at the in-person Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshop, and he's going to teach us time management and his approach to personal self-discipline and getting things done. Also at the workshop, I'll put up on the website so people can see it here. Also at the 2-day interactive workshop, Sean, we are going to be, there it is. We're going to be teaching accounting, systems creation, marketing, human resources, how to hire, inspire, train, and retain great people, accounting, social media advertising, search engine optimization. Sean, what's the area where most clients ask you for help the most? Is it generating leads? Is it hiring people? What's the biggest issue that most business owners have by default before they come to one of our workshops?
Well, I think it's management, because time is the most valuable resource for these business owners, and being able to manage their time is the first thing. Once they get that under control, then generally the numbers you know, being able to track their business and be able to make the best decisions based on numbers rather than emotions is a big area. And we teach all of this stuff at the business conference, particularly you, Clay. You love to hammer on time management. It's my favorite part of the conference.
Now I'm going to pull this up real quick here because we're going to go through. If you're not excited, I want to get you excited about what we're going to cover at the workshop here. Okay.
All right.
The 2-day interactive workshop. This is my 20th year hosting workshops. So I'm telling you folks, we're in rare form here. So one is the idea of establishing your revenue goals. I think most entrepreneurs don't know their revenue goals. Would you agree, or am I off my rocker?
No, yeah, that's totally a very important point we do with every one of our new clients that come on board is we have to establish the revenue goals. And generally speaking, we have a vague idea, but not an exact idea that can be engineered down into like the daily goals for sales. And so that's a really big one.
Now, next is the break-even numbers. How, what kind of sales do you have to do to even break even?
Yeah.
Third is how many hours per week do you want to work? What is your ideal schedule as an entrepreneur? Box number 4, how do you stand out in the clutter of commerce? What makes your company unique from all the different businesses? In a world of brown cows, herds of brown cows, proverbial brown cows, the analogy of brown cows, how can you be the purple cow that stands out? How can you be the squeaky wheel that gets the oil? Box number 5, branding. How do you improve the perception that people have of you, your business, your brand? Box number 6, marketing, your 3-legged marketing stool. What is a turnkey way for you and your company to generate leads so you can succeed? Because if you don't have any leads, your business will bleed. If you can't sell, your business will go to hell. You've got to generate leads. Sean, how often do business owners by default tell you they have a hard time generating leads?
It's almost all of the time. It's really a huge struggle. And many times they may be creating leads, but just through word of mouth. So they get to a point where we've implemented systems and then they need to create more leads, but they've never had to do it. So there's a lot of different scenarios where business owners are like, how do you create leads? Something we hammer on at the conference a lot.
Box number 7, create a sales conversion system. Again, box number 7, create a sales conversion system. Sales scripts, recorded calls, one sheets, pre-written emails, lead trackers, all of the sales tools, the sales print pieces, the one sheets, the big screens that you see inside the business. Whether you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're a lawyer, you got to have sales systems in place. We help you with that. Box number 8, what does it cost you to get another customer? Step number 8, what does it cost you to actually acquire a customer? Step number 9, it's hard to build an organization if you're not organized. We're going to teach you how to create repeatable systems, processes, file organization. Box number 10, we're going to teach you how to manage people, real people on the planet Earth. This just in, we're going to teach you how to manage real people on the planet Earth. Box number 11, how to create a sustainable schedule that works for you and your family. Step number 12, how to create human resources systems for recruiting, hiring, training, and retaining great people. Box number 13, accounting. This just in, we have to cover accounting. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. We're going to cover all the accounting things you need to know. And step 14, finally, what is the point of even achieving success? We're going to go over what is the point of even achieving success, how to design a life that you're excited about, how to design a life where you carve out enough time for your faith, your family, your finance, your fitness, your friendship, your fun, and where you're going to spend your focused time. We're going to go through that, all this and more. Now, the workshop, Sean, it's June 5th and 6th. Yep. It's a 2-day interactive workshop.
Yes.
And tickets, we always do it. It's $250 or whatever price that someone can afford. Sean, why do we let people name their price? Why do we have scholarship tickets available if somebody can't afford the $250 general admission ticket?
Well, we don't want anybody to miss out on it. You could be at a startup phase or you could be, way along in your business, but we want to make it accessible for everybody. I think it actually goes back to a story of your dad. And it goes all the way back to how you've always done this as a business coach, trying to make sure that, your average people out there have access to the things that work.
Now, 7 a.m. to 5, Sean, why do we go from 7 to 5 both days? I mean, it's 10 hours a day. 20 hours of training over 2 days. Why do we do 10 hours a day, Sean, of back-to-back workshops? We do a 30-minute teaching session. We do a 15-minute question and answer session, and then we take a break. 30 minutes of teaching, 15 minutes of question and answer, then we take a break. Why do we do that format, Sean?
That format is so that we can keep people engaged and not just sitting there listening, but also getting involved. We really encourage people to ask questions, and that's really where the juiciness of the conference comes out, is you can put your personal personal situation and your questions on the board, and Clay will tee off and give you direct advice. Even without being in our coaching program, you can get direct coaching from Clay. It's really a very engaging format. I enjoy it a lot.
Sean, final 60 seconds pop quiz here. What date is the conference?
June 5th and 6th, 2025, this year.
Question number 2, who's our keynote speaker coming to the conference there, Sean?
Tim Tebow is our keynote speaker.
Sean, question number 3, how much does it cost to come to our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
I think it's, did you say it's $250 or whatever you can afford?
That's right, $250 or whatever you can afford. Sean, how do you spell Eric Trump backwards?
P-M-U-R-T-C-I-R-E. Ooh, that took a long time.
I'll have to listen to this. You did it right. All right, again, that's Sean Lohman. I'm Clay Clark, inviting you to come join us at the in-person Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive workshop, June 5th and 6th, right here in Tulsa, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Sean, I'm excited to have this event. I'm excited to see you at the event, June 5th and 6th, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tim Tebow, baby. It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem.
You could be anywhere doing a lot of different things, but you chose to be here.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
Hey guys, Luke Erickson here with the Thrivetime Show. As you can see behind me, we've got all kinds of energy going on. People are starting to show up for the conference, and it is hot in this place. We got grill guns over here. We've got people playing the drums. We've got a fire breather, and man, people are so excited as they come in. The conference is kicked off. This house is packed. We've got Aaron Hansis with Shaw Holmes up there. We've got Steve Currington with Total Lending Concepts up there talking about what is possible when you just implement, when you do the proven system. It's so exciting. People are going crazy. Guys, Luke Erickson with the Thrivetime Show here with you. It is day 2 and the energy is high. People are so excited to be showing up. The team is ready. Come on, let's see what it's like to go on in for day 2. Follow me. I'll tell you what, people are so excited to be here for day 2. It is going to be incredible. Cannot wait to see what today has in store. Right now, here at the conference, we've broken into groups going over search engine optimization. And I know for most of us, myself included, if you hear that term, you go, what is that? What does that mean? That's too techie for me. Well, our experts are breaking it down for people so that you can clearly understand how to come up top in Google. It's doable. It's possible. Now we're in the middle of a break, and what we like to do is we like to give you as much tangible and relevant information from about the start of the hour for 45 minutes. Then we take approximately a 15-minute break to allow people to connect with other entrepreneurs around them, bathroom breaks, and also use this time to just really digest all of the good information that you're receiving the whole time. Right behind me, we've got Bob with his grill gun, melting an ice sculpture. It is awesome. The ice sculpture represents our life, right? It's here for a time, but we all need to have the sense of urgency to implement the things that we're learning so that we can make the most of the time that we have.
I heard about it on the podcast. Started listening to the podcast, became a fan, and then figured out about the workshop. I own an insurance and financial services agency, and I was hoping to learn from the workshop systems and processes. I'm big on systems and processes and always learning better ways to run a business more efficiently. The atmosphere's second to none. It's a high energy, really cool atmosphere to be around. Contagious, I would say. Just something every entrepreneur, I think, would appreciate and love. I'd say humorous, high energy, and full of substance, which I think is the key. A lot of business coaches or seminars maybe are high on motivation and making you feel good, but don't have a lot of substance that you can take back and implement, the following Monday, where his does. Man, there's a lot of valuable things. I'm gonna say, this is my second workshop. The first workshop I took back really the importance of a group interview. I used to spend hours and hours interviewing people, screening resumes, and that saving my time on that part is valuable. It was that and then the sales scripting that have been two major things just so far. Man, I think they're missing out on, expert advice from somebody who's been there, done that, built companies, has learned a lot of lessons. That's what I'm always looking for, is somebody that I can learn from that's ahead of where I am. And I think if you choose not to come, you're missing out on a lot of good advice that could help your business.
Hi, I'm Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes. I first heard about Clay through a mortgage lender here in town who had told me what a great job he had been doing for them, and I actually noticed he was driving a Lamborghini all of a sudden, so I was willing to listen. In my career, I've sold a little over $800 million in real estate. So honestly, I thought I kind of knew everything about marketing and homes. And then I met Clay, and my perception of what I knew and what I could do definitely changed. After doing $800 million in sales over a 15-year career, I really thought I knew what I was doing. I've been managing a large team of salespeople for the last 10 years here with Shaw Homes. And we've been a company that's been in business for 35 years. We've become one of the largest builders in the Tulsa area, and that was without Clay. So when I came to know Clay, I really thought, man, there's not much more I need to know, but I'm willing to listen. The interesting thing is our internet leads from our website has actually, in a 4-month period of time, has gone from somewhere around 10 to 15 leads in a month to 180 internet leads in a month. Just from the few things that he's shown us how to implement that I honestly probably never would have come up with on my own. So I got a lot of good things to say about the system that Clay put in place with us. And it's just been an incredible experience. I am very glad that we met and had the opportunity to work with Clay. So the interaction with the team and with Clay on a weekly basis is honestly very enlightening. One of the things that I love about Clay's perspective on things is that he doesn't come from my industry. He's not somebody who's in the home building industry. I've listened to all the experts in my field. Our company has paid for me to go to seminars, international builder shows, all kinds of places where I've had the opportunity to learn from the experts in my industry. But the thing that I found working with Clay is that he comes from such a broad spectrum of working with so many different types of businesses that he has a perspective that's difficult for me to gain because I get so entrenched in what I do, I'm not paying attention to what other leading industry experts are doing. And Clay really brings that perspective for me. It is very valuable time every week when I get that hour with him. From my perspective, the reason that any business owner who's thinking about hooking up with Thrive needs to definitely consider it is because the results that we've gotten in a very short period of time are honestly monumental. It has really exceeded my wildest expectation of what he might be able to do. I came in skeptical because I'm very pragmatic, and as I've gone through the process over just a few months, I've realized it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made. I think a lot of people probably feel like they don't need a business or marketing consultant because they maybe are a little bit prideful and like to think they know everything. I know that's how I felt coming in. We're a big company that's definitely one of the largest in town. And so we kind of felt like we knew what we were doing. And I think for a lot of people, they let their ego get in the way of listening to somebody that might have a better or different perspective than theirs. I would just really encourage you, if you're thinking about working with Clay, the thing is, it's month to month. go give it a try and see what happens. I think in the 35-year history of Shaw Homes, this is probably the best thing that's happened to us. And I know if you give them a shot, I think you'll feel the same way. I know for me, the thing I would have missed out on if I didn't work with Clay is I would have missed out on literally an 1,800% increase in our internet leads. Going from 10 a month to 180 a month, that would have been a huge financial decision to just decide not to give it a shot. I would absolutely recommend Clay Clark to anybody who's thinking about working with somebody in marketing. I would skip over anybody else you were thinking about, and I would go straight to Clay and his team. I guarantee you're not going to regret it, because we sure haven't.
My name is Danielle Sprick, and I am the founder of D Sprick Realty Group here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. After being a stay-at-home mom for 12 years and my 3 kids started school and they were in school full-time, I was at a crossroads and trying to decide what do I want to do? My degree and my background is in education, but after being a mom and staying home and all of that, I just didn't have a passion for it like I once did. My husband suggested real estate. He's a home builder, so real estate and home building go hand in hand, and we just rolled with it. I love people, I love working with people, I love the building relationships, but one thing that was really difficult for me was the business side of things. The processes and the advertising and marketing. I knew that I did not have what I needed to make that what it should be. So I reached out to Clay at that time, and he and his team have been extremely instrumental in helping us build our brand, help market our business, our agents, the homes that we represent. Everything that we do is a direct line from Clay and his team and all that they've done for us. We launched our brokerage, our real estate brokerage, 8 months ago. And in that time, we've gone from myself and one other agent to just this week, we signed on our 16th agent. We have been blessed with the fact that we right now have just over 10 million in pending transactions. 3 years ago, I never would have even imagined that I would be in this role that I'm in today, building a business, having 16 agents. But I have to give credit where credit's due. And Clay and his team and the business coaching that they've offered us has been huge. It's been instrumental in what we're doing. Don't ever limit your vision. When you dream big, big things happen.
I started a business because I couldn't work for anyone else. I do things my way. I do what I think is in the best interest of the patient. I don't answer to insurance companies. I don't answer to large corporate organizations. I answer to my patient, and that's it. My thought when I opened my clinic was I can do this all myself. I don't need additional outside help in many ways. I went to medical school. I can figure this out. But it was a very, very steep learning curve. Within the first 6 months of opening my clinic, I had a $63,000 embezzlement. I lost multiple employees. Clay helped us weather the storm of some of the things that are just a lot of people experience, especially in the medical world. He was instrumental in helping with the specific written business plan. He's been instrumental in hiring good quality employees, using the processes that he outlines for getting in good talent, which is extremely difficult. He helped me in securing the business loans. He helped me with web development and search engine optimization. We've been able to really keep a steady stream of clients coming in because they found us on the web. With everything that I encountered, everything that I experienced, I quickly learned it is worth every penny to have someone in your team that can walk you through and even avoid some of the pitfalls that are almost invariable in starting your own business. I'm Dr. Chad Edwards, and I own Revolution Health and Wellness Clinic.
Clay, my honor to be on your show, and thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? people rave about what they learned from you. So congratulations.
And we went from expecting maybe 250,000 this year to we're at 400,000. Hi, I'm Kelsey with K&D's Woodruff Finishing, business owner at 23. So I've been working this K&D's company for about 5 years now, and we started working with Thrive not too long ago. And we went from expecting maybe 250,000 this year to we're at 400,000. That's what we're going to hit or exceed. So we're pretty excited about that. It's been pretty much just listening to what they have to say. Their hiring process has just really been incredible as far as finding good quality help, and the just the accountability of meeting up with them weekly, and like such good insight, the resources that they have for specific business questions. It's all been really incredible. It's been a great experience, so I would recommend it to anybody.
What I've seen from Clay and his group at Thrive is they'll give you a simple system, and it's the simple systems are the ones that people can wrap their brain around. They're the ones that people can work with on a day-to-day basis.
Hi there, my name is Stephanie Pipkin. I am 24 years old and I own Black River Falls Cleaning Services. We opened in April of 2019 and it is now mid-June of 2020. So I wanted to talk today about the success and growth I have achieved by implementing the Proven Path with Clay Clark's team and my business coach Luke from Thrivetime. It has been insane to say the least. I started working with them in mid-February of this year, so we're about 4 months in of working together, and it has completely transformed my business in pretty much every facet. So I'm gonna check my notes here. So in 4 months, my leads have tripled. I was getting probably like 2 leads a week. Now I'm getting more in the like 10 to 15 leads a week. I have doubled my number of employees. I'm now hitting the highest revenue weeks in the history of the company, week to week it seems like. We went from about 6 appointments today as our highest in February to now 14 to 15 appointments a day. And hiring quality employees has become much simpler and less stressful by using their systems for hiring. I typically only get maybe 2 complaints a month, if that, and everybody shows up to work. I just have really high quality employees now, especially in something people typically consider a high turnover type of work, you know, cleaning houses, cleaning businesses. I have amazing employees now, and I get rid of the ones who are not so amazing and bring on new ones because of, you know, group interviews and interviewing every single week. It's just been great, and such I don't waste as much time on low quality candidates anymore. And your coach will hold you accountable. I mean, which I love. Again, the tough love is really great. You know, Luke's like a stern father figure, but he's also nice, but also stern when he needs to be, when I'm being lazy and not doing the things that I know I need to do because I don't want to do them. So that's just great. Worth every penny. I mean, I'd pay him $1 million a month if I can, and maybe someday I'll be able to, but I would just say go for it. If it seems like a good fit, just go for it. Do what they say, even if you think it's stupid or ridiculous. Just do what they say because it'll work. You know, people, when they look at my business, you know, people in my town, they think I'm lucky. They think I'm just, you know, things just happen for me. And, you know, maybe I am lucky, but it has a lot to do with hard work and, you know, perseverance and, you know, working till you cry sometimes. That's just being an entrepreneur, which if you're a business owner, you understand that. But it's having these systems in place of, you know, of course I'm going to be successful. It's an absolute because I have all this stuff in the background happening, and I have Luke and Clay and everybody on their team working really hard to make sure that I'm a success. And I can tell that they are just so excited every single week when I'm having all these wins and things like that. They're so excited for me. So it's the best thing ever, and I would suggest to anybody to work with them. So sorry for the long-winded reply, but I just had so much to say, and I could go on for hours probably about how amazing they are. But thank you to Clay and Luke and the entire team there, everything you guys have done for me, and I am so excited to continue to work with you for years to come. Thanks so much for watching.
My saying is, if it's important to you, hire a coach. And I think that's one of the reasons people are not successful is they
they eat a cheeseburger instead of hiring a coach. You know what I mean? And so my coach pushes me. They're younger than me. They push harder. They're trained. And as my rich dad always said, amateurs don't have a coach, but professionals always have coaches. So I've always had coaches for whatever is important. My rich dad was one of those persons. You're on it, man. You're on it. You're on it. Everybody, listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. You have the macro picture. Very few people have that point of view.
Clay, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And as they say in Stoic, the obstacle is the way. And so if you let these pinheads get in your way, you're in trouble.